buddies, it's your girl AyChristene, and today we are on number 3, capítulo 3, which is chapter 3 of Draw My Life by shgurr. This is partner problem. Last one we realized, she had shut herself off, and a trait that she said that she gained was the aspect of she would defend others even though she couldn't defend herself. And she was stepping for others, but when others wanted to be a friend, she was like, nah, bruh, I'm good, deuces. And then kept it moving. Understandably, we know why she got there and what led her to that point. It just still sucks that that happened to her. And she said a re-upload because YouTube demonetized the last iteration. Dear, I wonder what had to be changed or what came out. Sometimes I feel like you do have to get it manually reviewed. Like if they demonetize, you have to get it manually reviewed. Because sometimes I think that that yellow flag number happens even though it shouldn't. So that's why sometimes it happens to me and I do the manual review because I'm like, nah, bruh, everything is good in this video. It's copacetic. Let me through. So I understand her pain. But anyways, link for this video is in the description box below, along with the link for my merch. Get you some, get you some. And if you buy something, send a picture, because I'll get some people be like, hey, I bought the cell phone. Take a picture and send it to me on Instagram, on Twitter, wherever, and I will repost you. I'll shout you out. Thank you for the love. I appreciate you. I love you. Now let's get started.
I was now 19. My church does this thing called a mission. You basically go out and preach about Jesus and stuff for a period of 18 months. I'm a very religious person because even when the world failed me, at least I had hope in my boy Jesus. Without having that sense of hope, I probably would have offed myself years ago.
Oh, baby. I
saw many missionaries come home basically as heroes, so it seemed like a better option than to stick around
like in another country
in California.
I got you.
I was super wrong.
Oh, dear. Abusive partner. Yikes.
When you get your mission call, they can send you almost anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
I was assigned to serve in Canada, Montreal, so I had to learn French. Alors, je connais un peu le français, mais pas beaucoup de choses.
Oh, she sounds
Before
good.
stepping foot in the
What
different
did she say?
country,
Let me know down below.
missionaries are trained at the MTC to speak different languages for 6 weeks. You were cut off from the rest of the world, so no internet, and you dedicate all your time to studying the doctrine in the new language. About halfway being into trained, I was walking up the stairs to the cafeteria when... Ow, my feet. That's not normal. The pain got worse the more stairs I went up.
Oh, dear.
I figured it was Achilles tendonitis, which is something I had in high school for a bit, but with sturdier shoes can be fixed.
Hold on. I just need to read. I didn't get to read it. Occurs when the tendon that attaches the calf muscles to the heel, becomes painful or inflamed. Oh, baby.
But with sturdier shoes can be fixed. I got better shoes, but the pain kept increasing. The last thing I wanted to do was to go home before even getting to Canada. My Saiyan pride wouldn't allow it. I must persist no matter what. As stupid as it was in my mind, this was the last meaningful thing I could do in my painful existence. I've dealt with the pain all the way to Montreal. However, feet pain would be the least of my worries.
Who's this chick? Oh.
Who are you?
Yeah, hello.
I was confused why some random girl was giving me a hug, and apparently I totally offended her by not reciprocating it. I mean, it was kind of a spring attack. Apparently this was my trainer, and rather than just saying that to me, she got super angry that I didn't know who she was. This would be the start of a pretty terrible relationship. My trainer expected me to know everything right off the bat, but I had no idea what was going on half the time because she kept the planning to herself. She didn't have patience to do things as a team.
If I had a superpower, like with the Avengers, how they had the, and spoiler alert, if you didn't see Endgame, it was solved by, and I'll give you a second to go forward like 3 minutes, but all right, if y'all hear, that means you're ready for the spoiler. Time travel is what saved the whole thing at the end. All right, essentially, time travel in a fight. Now, I wish, like in hearing these stories, I wish I could go back as just like, oh my goodness, that's such a great idea for like a series of somebody who hears these stories and then they like qualify the time, they go back in this person's life and they handle these situations for them, because I would want to go back and like slap that chick, be like, Ninja, you don't know, how am I supposed to know who you is? Did you introduce yourself to me? A hug is not well, it is an introduction, but don't tell me who you is, bruh. Okay? So that's one thing. And then on top of that, to be mad. And then I've worked with people where they have this mindset that you should know the planning. And it reminds me of a particular person, like in the conversation, chastising you for the things that you are not doing that they expected you to do. But then in that same conversation, realizing that they never told you what you were supposed to do. And I mean, in a work environment, a manager that would be like, thanks for doing this. Why didn't you do ABC, XYZ, 1, 2, 3? We never talked about those things. You never told me that this is what you needed or what you had. And they're like, but I need this. And I'm like, no, but you never told me that this is what you need. Oh, okay. I never told you? No. Well, I need these things. There was never an apology like, you know what? My bad. I'm sorry. I thought I told you these things, but I never did. Okay. No, it'd be like, I never told you. Well, I need these things. And girl, when I tell you that... It's just a frustrating thing. I'm not going to talk about the lady because she has some things going on in her life, and I apologize for the things that happened to her. However, there were moments with her that were extremely frustrating, and this reminds me of that.
Got into fights a lot. When you have to live with someone 24/7 and they don't treat you like a teammate,
have to live with her?
You're going to fight a lot. Every fight we had would end with me in tears because I would be the one to give in and apologize. Because she always had to be right.
No,
our fight got so bad that we had to meet with the mission president's wife. I thought she was going to give us advice on how to better get along, but when I went there... Yeah, so what can we do to be better teammates? I was expecting her to give us some ways that we could bond together or some exercises we could do, explaining our feelings to each other. But instead... Look, sister has been here longer than you have, and she's a darling. Obviously, the fights are all your fault.
That's what she said?
Oh, yeah, that's productive. Just blame one person in the companionship for every issue.
That's what she said?
I didn't hear anything after she said that. I just kind of broke down. Once again, my faith in adults just disappeared, and I just accepted, well, guess I'm just gonna suffer. I was willing to work with her, but she wouldn't communicate with me. She would keep all the plans to herself, so I was completely in the dark about what we were supposed to do day to day. I even tried drawing her some art to maybe create a connection, but she would always brush it off as childish.
Oh my gosh.
I wasn't her obedient servant that
beat her with the book while she's
so
sleeping. Take the book and hit her with it.
As the months went on, my feet
push
got
in front
worse.
of the bus.
We were in a walking area, so we were walking around 5 miles a day. I would pass out during lessons and rides on the bus. She always made sure to make fun of that.
Oh my goodness.
As the pain increased, I started having concentration issues, headaches. I would have to distract myself during the day to get through.
She should have went to the doctor.
At the end of the day, I would sob in the bathroom. The only place where I could finally be alone from my frickin' companion. The lower half of my body was in agony. I'd never experienced such leg pain before. Having the physical pain was hard enough, but all I could think about was how my trainer hates me. The mission president's wife despises me, and I felt so trapped. I wanted to be a good missionary, but I didn't.
Okay, I'm going to just say this. Church people, we need to be better. We need to be better as a whole. Stop with this crap, okay? Stop with this aspect that... oh, somebody has been here longer, like as if they can't have any fault or any issues, when you yourself, you have issues, you have things that you know that there's things that you've done wrong or that you're doing wrong, but yet you think other people, there's no way that this person is lying or is manipulative or mean because you've known them for super long. And I get that mindset when you're a friend of somebody, but if you have a new girl coming in and they're constantly fighting, try to mediate, get to know what is happening. Stop doing this whole, oh, I know her, she's a darling, so clearly it's your fault. Ninja, Jesus didn't do that ish, so stop. It's frustrating as heck. I'm really upset. I'm upset.
I didn't know how long I could last. I would always pretend as though everything was fine once I left the room, but I wasn't okay.
I want to beat them up for you. I'll slap the chick,
and I
both
were
of them.
Walking back home. The pain was getting to me, and...
Did you collapse?
My legs kind of gave out, and I fell into the snow. I watched as she walked around the corner disappeared. She quickly came back.
Okay.
Are you trying to mock me or something? No,
what are you talking about?
I don't want to hear your lame excuses. Don't you ever do that again.
Do what?
Missionaries are supposed to be side by side always. Do as you're told.
I get being so beaten in a situation that you give up, you cave in, and you're just like, all right, I'm done fighting. I've been in situations like that. I get that. So I'm not going to push or fault Sugar because it's been an ongoing thing. It's not something that instantly happened. It's been happening for a long time with different people. However, I want to take Snow from the ground while she picks me up yelling at me and shove my fist down that chick's throat. Talking about I don't want to hear your lame, no. You gonna listen to me, heifer, okay? Sorry, this has got me mad.
You are with companions for 6 weeks at a time, and me and Sister were at the end of our transfer.
Oh, good.
Before leaving to the new area, we were going to visit one less house to teach a lesson. Okay, so how about you give a testimony at the end of the lesson in French? Sure, that's fine. I can handle that.
Okay.
We got to the house, and right before we could even walk through the door. Okay, so you're giving the whole lesson. Ready? What?
Well, no, you said I'm just doing the end.
I can't do this. My French isn't good enough. Sister Gurr, these people's souls are on the line, and you are being so selfish. Well, I guess I'll just have to cancel the lesson. And it's all because of you.
Heifer, what?
They deserve better than you.
Push
She did always know how to make me cry.
Push her.
Now sobbing, I tried calming myself down even though she was being so abusive.
Oh my goodness.
I guess I'll do it alone then. Yes, that's right.
No, push her.
I struggled through a lesson with my broken French. She didn't stop to help me once during the entire lesson. Instead, just smirked at me. Maybe this was revenge. She knew that this was the last lesson we would give as a companionship. And she wanted to go out with a bang. I got assigned a new partner and was moved to a driving part of the mission. Okay. It was nice to not have to trek anymore, but my legs still gave me trouble.
Oh, dear.
I was so scared to get a new companion worse than my last, but she was so kind. Instantly, me and Sister got along super well. Like me, she was all about being an equal partner. We taught the most fun lessons, baptized new members, and sang to anime songs in the car.
Oh, that's
even though that's kind of against the rules.
That's good.
Unfortunately, all good things have to end sometime.
No.
One day, we were walking up 3 flights of stairs to get to a less active member's home.
Okay.
They weren't there, so we started walking back, and...
What happened?
I can't.
What?
I can't walk down.
Oh, no.
There, at the top of the staircase, I could not walk down. We were able to get home, but my whole back, my legs, my feet were all in horrendous pain.
Oh, no.
I had the feeling that if I could just make it back to California, that I would be able to get the treatment I needed to get better. I called the mission president up that night. President, I'm sorry, but I need to go home and get help. My body hurts too much, and I can't do this anymore. I am sick and tired of hearing all your excuses. You do not have feet issues. You're making this all up in your head to get attention.
Are you serious?
I'm not making this up. You were called to serve 18 months, and now you're choosing to disobey? You do realize you are going against the Lord's will.
Die. That's what I want to tell that man. You know what? Die. The world will be a better place. Because clearly you're using God to manipulate other people. Your situation ain't even about God. Your situation is about you. You want to hit a quota. You want to look good to the other members of the church. That's why you acting like that. Ninja, fall off a bridge. Die. That's what I say. God forgive me. But these people...
My whole life was dedicated to Jesus. Him saying
Who
that
are you?
broke me
You know
beyond
Jesus?
past my breaking
You know Jesus,
point.
sir?
To me, it said, even God doesn't want you. Before the flight home, I stayed at the mission president's house.
Really?
They came over to me, and I thought they were going to give me some words of encouragement to go home,
why would
get
you
better,
think that?
and
'Cause
come
these people
back.
are
But
garbage.
instead, well, I hope you're happy with yourself. You know, it only gets worse when you go home.
What gets worse when you get home? What are you talking?
He was right.
Oh my goodness. Commit not alive. She had to change. Baby girl, no. She had to change the title. I'm like, that was like, bruh. I am so frustrated right now with the fact that this happened to her. And it's super relatable for me. It's super relatable to things that I went to where I walked out. I was like, I'm not dealing with you. And for me, when the ganging up happened, which unfortunately this is a common, very, very common thing in church. It's super sad. But when there was a situation where 2 other chicks felt threatened by stuff I was not even doing to them, and they would gang up on me, they would tell other people ish and all this other stuff. And my thing is, I'm going to address it with them, and I'm talking to them, and I'm, calling them out on the stuff that they're doing. Like, no, we're not. And I'm like, no, well, we straight up have fights. We'd have another friend mediate our fights because we were having fights constantly. And then it got to the point when higher ups who should have been understanding or trying to listen got involved, and they were just taking the chick's side. I was like, deuces, I'm out. Forget it. Because it was one point I stepped down from what I was doing because of what was happening. But then when it got to that level where this higher up just jumped on their ship and was horrible, I was like, you know what, I'm done. I'm not coming to this church anymore. And I left. And things were better after that for me. Not for everybody else, because a lot of other stuff happened. But nonetheless, it's super relatable. I'm sorry this happened to her. And if this is happening to you, speak up. Speak up to somebody else. Whether it's like if you're trying to talk to somebody and this person's abusing their power and being manipulative like these other heifers and hobags in this video, what you need to do, despite the fact that don't think that just because this person says that, they represent God or his message and all this other stuff, that they have the right to be manipulative, toxic, rude, abusive. God don't act like that. So if that's what they're doing, call them out and talk to your parents, your family, somebody else. And if person A ain't listening, find person B. Do like I do with my friends and my husband. Like, well, I'm like, let me talk to your manager. Clearly, you can't help me, so let me talk to your manager. We're just gonna go up the chain. Somebody is gonna make this happen for me, okay? Baby girl, I'm so sorry this happened to you. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. If something like this happened to you, let me know. If you like that video, check out the link in the description box below. Actually, go support shgurr and support other people who are struggling with this situation. If you like this video, hug the like button. I love you guys as always. And until next time, buddies. Toodles.